The Emperor's Invisible Clothes Part 1. Once upon a time in a grand and prosperous kingdom, there lived a vain and self-absorbed emperor. He was more concerned with his clothing and appearance than with the welfare of his people. Two cunning weavers, who had heard of the emperor's vanity, arrived at the royal city and claimed to be the finest weavers in the land. They boasted that they could create the most exquisite and magical garments ever seen, but only those who were truly intelligent and fit for their positions would be able to see them. The emperor, intrigued by the idea of possessing such magnificent clothes and proving his intelligence, decided to commission these weavers to make him a new outfit. He provided them with a generous sum of gold and instructed them to begin their work immediately. As the weavers pretended to weave this extraordinary fabric, they secretly pocketed the gold and continued to deceive the emperor. Word spread throughout the kingdom about the magical garments, and people began to anticipate the emperor's grand appearance in them. Finally, the day of the emperor's fitting arrived. The weavers, still pretending to hold the invisible fabric, dressed the emperor in nothing but his undergarments. However, the emperor, not wanting to appear foolish, pretended to admire the imaginary clothing. The emperor's trusted ministers and advisors, who had also heard about the magical cloth, were fearful of appearing foolish themselves. They praised the emperor's attire, even though they could see nothing. The emperor, now parading through the streets in his imaginary finery, noticed that the crowd was silent. However, none of the spectators dared to admit that they saw nothing, as they feared being labeled as unintelligent or unfit for their positions. Suddenly, a small child in the crowd, innocent and unburdened by the fear of appearing foolish, exclaimed, "But the emperor has no clothes on." The truth spread like wildfire, and soon everyone in the crowd was murmuring the same words. The emperor realized that he had been fooled by the weavers and had paraded through the city in his undergarments. Although embarrassed and humiliated, the emperor learned a valuable lesson that day. He understood the importance of humility and that his obsession with appearances had caused him to neglect the well-being of his kingdom. From that day forward, he resolved to be a more responsible and caring ruler, valuing the true needs of his people over his own vanity. And so, the emperor's new clothes became a symbol not of his imagined grandeur but of his newfound humility and wisdom.